Are you looking for a stunning and beautiful fall wreath? Well, that is exactly what we're doing today. We're going to use the Cruffle method. This method was created a few years ago by my friend Amber. I'll have her channel linked down below. This wreath method has become pretty standard in the wreath making community. Some call it the Woodland Ruffle. Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to DIY with Nadia. My co-host today is my sweet kitten, Simba, and we are ready to get started on our gorgeous fall wreath. Let's run through the supplies that we're going to use for this wreath. Starting with Deco mesh, I'm going to be using 2 rolls that are 10 inches in width and 10 yards in length. They can be either 2 of the same Deco mesh. I usually like to use contrasting colors because I love to mix and match ribbon and Deco mesh, and it all works together beautifully. For ribbon, I'm going to be using a 1.5 inch wired ribbon. This one is from HobbyLobby's fall collection. And by the way, all the supplies that I'm going to be using are listed in the description box below and where I purchased them. Ribbon number 2 is going to be this beautiful ivory mesh ribbon, and this one is 2.5 inches and only 3 yards. These are one of the hardest things to find at the Dollar Tree, if you can find them at all at this point, but there is option 2. I get these on Temu and they come in these big rolls. All I do is cut this roll to however wide I need my ribbon to be. This is a great option if you like this type of ribbon, and I found so many stunning colors that I can use on pretty much any wreath for any season. For decor, I'm going to be using these berries, and I'm going to be using them in a unique way. Here is the lovely sign that I'm going to be using. It is 12 inches in length and 6 inches in height. For my wreath base, I'm going to be using this metal 14-inch wreath form. For this wreath, we are going to need 15 pipe cleaners to attach the Deco mesh, and then a few others for something else we're going to do. So the way I like to do this is grab a few of them, fold them in half, because 6 inches is more than enough. Of course, these pipe cleaners are 12. All we're going to do is make a little V. I always like to make the little V's because it's so easy to grab the pipe cleaner piece and just attach it to your already made Deco mesh bundle or ribbon bundle, wherever you're making. When working with Deco mesh that has foiling like this, I like to use a wood burning tool that looks something like this. I'm using the needle tip. Other people like to use other tips. That all depends on you. And what we're going to do is cut our Deco mesh using that because it will seal the edges in much nicer than a regular rotary cutter. Our rolls are 10 yards in length, and we're going to be cutting our Deco mesh into 20-inch strips. I already opened the window that's in front of me for ventilation. I'm going to be cutting in between 2 lines. I'm going not too fast, not too slow, and if the line curves or the 2 rows curve, you go with it, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to give you the perfect seal. I have a laundry basket next to me. All my Deco mesh pieces are going there. For a Deco mesh roll that's 10 yards in length, you're going to get 15 pieces at 20 inches each. I'm going to do the same thing with the ivory. I could have used a roller cutter, but why not use this if I have it? I'm just going to straighten out first because it's really curvy at the edge here. If you are using 2 or 3 different colors or types of Deco mesh for this particular wreath, you just need to make sure that you're going to have a total of 30 of these pieces that are 20 inches in length. For my 1.5 inch ribbon, I'm going to be cutting 12-inch strips, and I'm going to need 15 of these. When you have your 15 pieces, you're going to take both ends, fold them in half, and we're going to make dovetails. Cut a little triangle, and there you go. Next, I'm going to grab my mesh ribbon and I'm going to be also cutting it into 12-inch strips. When it comes to this ribbon, I actually like using my rotary cutter because it's quick, my friend. It's just boom, 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 much quicker. You don't really need to do dovetails for this ribbon if you don't want to because it's mesh. I'm going to be cutting these until I get 15 pieces. Next, I'm going to grab pipe cleaners and my berries. So let's take a few of these off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide these because we basically need the tops to show. So this could be one, and I made about 1.5 inches of berries. Then here's a good place to cut. I mean, this doesn't need to be precise at all. Just cut sections. I think this would be a third one from this one, a few here. I have my berries all cut up. They averaged about 4 per little stem. I'm going to take pipe cleaners, fold them in half, and I'm going to keep them folded like this. And you can guess what we're doing right now. I'm going to grab my berries, find a spot to put some hot glue on at the bottom, and attach my little pipe cleaner. Just like this. Very easy. I'm not too worried that the pipe cleaner is white because all that's going to show is basically the top of these berries. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. A quick tip, if you're using one of these very affordable ones that you can get in any craft store, and I actually use it a lot and love mine, it only uses the low setting, so don't worry about it. But if you have one that has the low and high, then those do have the higher temperature. And keep it on the low setting because you can potentially just melt these little foam berries on the high setting. I'm going to continue until I'm done with all my little berries. I am done with my berry picks. I have 10 altogether. With the orange deco mesh, I'm going to be attaching this mesh ribbon because of the contrast, of course. And then with the ivory one, I'm going to have the beautiful orange one. I'm going to be attaching every other. To summarize the counts, I have 15 of each ribbon for a total of 30, 15 of the orange, 15 of the ivory of deco mesh, also for a total of 30. Since we're going to have 30 bundles of the deco mesh and we have 10 of our berries, every 3 bundles that I attach, I'm going to be attaching a berry. I'm going to start with my orange ruffle, and if you have deco mesh like this one that does not have a defined center, you know how sometimes they have stripes, using your cutting mat and finding the center is a great idea. But if you don't have one, you can just tape a ruler to your desk or maybe a measuring tape. Just tape how much you need as long as you know where the center is. My deco mesh is 10 inches and here is my center. I'm making sure my deco mesh is curling away from the table. Going to do 1, 2, 3 curls, and then I'm going to clamp this with anything you have. You can use a big clamp like this, a little one, as long as you can clamp one side. Let's flip it and then do 3 curls on this side. My curls average about 1 inch in diameter. Let's bring this all together, collect in the center, and then as I'm holding the center, I'm grabbing my piece of mesh ribbon, putting it on my cutting mat or my ruler, finding that center, just bring it together and put it right in the center of my little cruffle, taking one of the pipe cleaners and putting it on. Then I'm going to fold my cruffle so that I can have a nice tight seal in the back, and I'm going to be attaching it to my wreath base on rows 2 and 3. So the 2 middle rows, if you're doing this on a bigger wreath or a wreath that has 3, you could just do it in the center one. I wrap the extra pipe cleaner on row 3 and that's it. It looks nice and neat. When it comes to the count, we have 6 sections. In each section we're going to put 5 cruffles, and that does not include the berries. The berries are just a little extra decor piece, but we're going to be attaching them after every 3 cruffles. So 3 cruffles, berries, 3 cruffles, berries. I know what you might be thinking. 5 might not be enough. My friends, this is going to be such a fluffy and beautiful wreath. The berries are just a little bonus. After I have my Cruffle all together, I'm going to grab my ribbon, same thing, collect in the center, put it in the center of my Cruffle pipe cleaner, straight over. Don't you just love it that it's already in a little V? Then I just push it back a little bit so I can twist it nice and tight. And do you see what it does? It kind of just poofs the whole Cruffle up and attach it to our wreath base. I'm attaching to the 2 middle rows, twist up and wrap the pipe cleaner around one of the rows. That's it. It should be on the shorter side anyway. Another orange one, 3 curls, clamp, 3 curls on this side and bring together. Mesh ribbon, find the center, put it in the center of our Cruffle. Then our pipe cleaner will go right around that, 2 twists in the back and onto our wreath base. Now it's time to attach these berries. I'm going to attach them to row 2 and 3, just like my Cruffles. A few twists and just push them up so we can have them in between our beautiful Cruffles. And now I'm going to continue making the Cruffles and attaching them to the wreath. As I said, 5 Cruffles in each section, 6 sections, 5 times 6 is 30, exactly the amount that we have. All the Cruffles are on, and now it's time to attach the sign. I'm just going to remove the jute cord that's attached on top. Before I attach my sign, I want to make room for it. And all I'm going to do is make sure that no berries or ribbon are buried underneath it. So when I find my spot, I'm going to just take any ribbon that I see underneath or berries and pull them out to the side. Because the sign is metal, it's best to attach floral wire instead of pipe cleaners and hot glue or super glue, because the floral wire is more of a secure connection and it will withstand any weather. I'm going to cut off 4 pieces, put them through, a few tight twists in the back, just like this. All the pipe cleaners are on. Let's start attaching. Since I already pretty much prepared everything, I'm just going to lay it on and start attaching. I like the way that looks, and I do like to sink in the sign a little bit, about 2 inches, possibly 3. This one's sticking out a little bit there. The holes that are showing, we're going to cover them with some of the ribbon. Now I'm just going to go in the back, make sure to secure all of the floral wire. While I'm in the back, I'm going to grab a jute cord and make a hanging loop. Find your center. Make sure that the knot you're going to make is about 1 inch away from the top of the wreath, so that when you hang the wreath, it's not going to show. Make a knot and cut off the extra tail. If you would like to cover the back, you could definitely do that. At this time, there is my hanging loop. And now we're coming to my favorite part, and that is making sure we're grabbing that ribbon, pulling it out, adjusting our berries so they are shown and in the right places. The holes that are holding up the sign, we're going to cover those up too. All that ribbon you're just pulling out towards the top of the wreath, and make sure you fold it a little bit like a petal, otherwise you won't be able to see it. But when you lay it down a little bit like this, then you're able to see the actual ribbon. Do you see what I mean? And of course we want to face it towards the top. This is such a fun wreath, and of course you could do it for any holiday. In the comments below, I would love to know if you like the idea of adding these berries. I thought they added a fun element, and if you did like it, are you going to try something like this in a future wreath? I hope you enjoyed this wreath tutorial. For more, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up, right, Simba? Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you in our next video. Bye, my friends. Mwah. That's right. Bye, guys.